One of the biggest hacks or secrets that I found inside of my businesses is to hire people with the opposite skills of me. Now, you might think that's crazy. I don't want to hang out with people who are like the opposite of me or whatever. But it's truthfully been the biggest game changer in my businesses because I don't want to do the things that I'm not super skilled at. All right, it's just the way that we're built. We like to do things we're good at. If we're a good baseball player, we like to play baseball. But we don't want to try tennis or golf. Like, we just don't. We want to stay playing baseball because we suck at those other sports. So when I started hiring people for the first time, I would hire people that are just like me, that have the same personality as me, that like the same things that I do. And you want to know what happened is one area of our business was pretty good, but the other stuff we royally sucked in. Like, I remember one point we got our AR up to like $100,000 in accounts receivable. And this is like doing seamless gutters. That's, at that point, that was like a bunch of $2,000 jobs. So I had 50 people that hadn't paid me and owed me $100,000. That was a lot of money, right? And it's because I had nobody that loved calling people asking for money. And like, I'm the nice guy. And I'm like, hey, Mrs. Smith, are you super happy with your gutters? Like, oh yeah, Colin, I love them. Awesome, cool, thank you so much. Just wondering when you plan to make that payment. Oh, Colin, I didn't even get an invoice. Oh, okay. This was like 4 weeks after I had done the install because I never sent them a freaking invoice because I hated doing the office work, all right? And so when I hired somebody to literally do that, like our AR went down to 0. I literally had a line of credit for accounts receivable and they called me and they're like, hey, you need to pay all this back because you don't have any AR anymore. We can't have a line of credit open based on AR. And I was like, oh, okay. Here's your $50,000 or whatever it was, right? That sucked. That was like, oh man, that's a bummer, but also good that we just had the cash flowing. So admin, I despise doing administrative stuff. So when I hire someone who's an admin brain, we're not gonna be best friends. Like, we might even clash a little bit, but I know that what they're doing is probably better for my business than what I'm thinking we should be doing. Operations, I'm pretty good in operations, but it's not my passion. So I don't like dealing with the ordering and the scheduling of jobs and all that stuff. Like, it's not, like, I'm good at it because I've had to be, but I don't like it. It's not fun. Like, the funnest part of it is when I get to talk to the suppliers and they're like, Colin, what's up? We haven't heard from you in a while. Like, usually we deal with so-and-so. I'm like, yeah, what's going on, man? Like, it's just good to catch up. But sales, that's my thing. That's what I like to do. It's what I like to be training on. It's what I like to be practicing. And so I'll spend all my time there and the other things kind of fall to the wayside. So I like to hire people who are different brained than me, who like different things than I do, because usually that equals an increase in that department of my business. So if you haven't intentionally hired people who are the opposite of you, give it a whirl. Watch it radically change your business. I use the phrase like, you're the Coke to my rum, like, or the yin to my yang. That's what I'm looking for people who are opposite of me, because if there's a bunch of Collins in my business, we've got a ton of ideas and visions in almost zero execution, right? Like, we might execute half on these things, but never actually all in executing. But, you know, like right now I've got this gal named Cindy who's complete opposite brained of me. Like, she's got like a visionary. She can play off of my dreams, but she's not like me where she's just coming up with ideas. And when I spitball ideas, she's like, well, you gotta think about this, you gotta think about this. And in Gutter Launch or Home Service Giants, I have Shelby, where I can go to her and she's like, hey, Colin, we've got like 6 other things we're working on right now. Let's put a pin in it and we can talk about this later, but we gotta get 2 or 3 of these things off of our plate before we look at adding something else. Okay, that makes sense. Where if she was a visionary, she'd be like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever, yeah, let's do it. And we'd end up with 27 different things that are half completed and probably never get finished. So it's pivotal that you find people who are opposite of you. Now, there are people out there who are entrepreneurs who are not visionaries, who need to hire a person like me as a visionary for their company. And they're just a really, really good operator. And that's completely okay too. It's a little more rare. It's like 1 out of 10 entrepreneurs is that way. Most of the time, entrepreneurs tend to be like me on that visionary side and lack on the follow through. But that's why you need a partner or somebody in your business who is that operator, who can actually drum it up and make stuff happen. So anyways, little tidbit for you there. Hire people intentionally who are the opposite of you and watch your business actually explode, because that's what happened in my business. I'm sure it'll happen in yours. If you're looking to be a part of a community of other people looking to grow their businesses, we have our Home Service Giants and Gutter Launch communities. We'd love to have you in there. We go live every single day, and it's not just like me or Daniel talking to you. It's back and forth. There's masterminding. You get to actually say, hey, I need help on this thing. I'm dealing with this. Like, how would you handle it? And we get to work through problems together and as a community and grow your business alongside of you. So anyways, in the meantime, if you're not interested in that, okay, you can still keep coming here for free stuff. But if you want to have one-on-one time with myself or Daniel, that's the place to do it. We'll see y'all next time.